Good!
Oh dear God. 2 years. 2 years streaming on this piece of shit website. Oh God. Okay. Well, those 2 party poppers were for you, Matzo. Thank you for being here. I wonder if anybody else is here, if anybody wants to say hello. If anybody wants to make me feel like a worthwhile loved human being. Where is the Sushi Bites playlist? No, that's Tennis Month. I'm actually going to have to search playlists. Sushi Bites. Bing. Right. Show looking at Japanese video games. Is it really? Make recommendations on the Discord. Alright, so I did update the details. Alright. Screen capture. Anybody else here? Oh, screen capture's hung the PC. That's good. It's real good. Start as you mean to go on. There we go. I don't want Task Manager open. Ew, I don't want people to see what I got open. I have to stick in my Switch and PS4 to game now. What? Okay. Whatever that means. No, I think I understand. Right. So, the whole point of this stream today is to celebrate 2 years of streaming. To celebrate New Year's Eve. Got some wine. This wine is disgusting. So I've got something to make it a little more palatable. You take wine, you add any variety of Coca-Cola to it. It has to be red wine. Add any variety of Coca-Cola to it, and you've got a masterpiece. Now, remember, drink responsibly. Do not drink if you are underage, unless you have a parent's supervision. Parent or guardian. Or captor. Whoa! It's Hollow Mirage! Hollow Mirage! How's it going, Hollow? What's going on here? We're about to rewatch old Sushi Bites episodes and I'm going to answer questions that you lot have, and I'm going to yeah, but then it's the parents' fault. The parents are to blame if they let you drink. So that's how the law works. So we're going to go through episodes of Sushi Bites. I'm going to give director's commentary. I'm going to explain what the motive behind the episode was, where the inspiration came from, and that was a party popper, and the party string didn't even come out of that. Look at that. Pathetic. Nice one, Wilkinsons. Your party poppers are shite. Right, so let's go. Volume level should be okay. I might have to reduce it. Okay, I will have to reduce it a little. So, interestingly, just the first thing that I want to bring up. The intro to the first ever Sushi Bites episode, I'm using the game audio from the game. The game was recorded from a web browser, from an emulator, like a Java emulator inside a web browser. So that's why the music sort of clips and skips, and that's also why you'll see social media links down the bottom of the captured footage.
What do you mean it's racist to name these videos after sushi? You can't tell me what I can and can't do. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you. Ugh.
Oh boy, okay. So this original the sketch Do Not Steal was essentially a ripped off joke from Rush Hour 2, I think. Now you are speaking my language. From where Chris Tucker's character is it Lee? No, it's what's his character? I can't remember. His character says like, "Hey, chase after that car," and the Chinese guy in the front seat is like, "Blah blah 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 blah," and it's like, "I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you," and that's where that joke was sort of ripped off from. The idea of the person on the phone, the director or supervisor of my channel, essentially. This joke, unfortunately, I brought back for a week of Garfield. I really wish I didn't, because that's one of the weakest Sushi Bites episodes.
This is the first, and could be the very last, edition of Sushi Bites. In this little feature, I'll look at a Japanese NES or SNES game
You sort of hear me laughing there in the background.
and tell you whether you should waste your time on it. How is it racist? Look, okay, not just the Japanese eat sushi. Almost everyone eats sushi nowadays. Your mother eats fucking sushi. I saw her do it. I'm gonna slap you. I am gonna slap you.
The whole thing about political correctness and people being so over the top about PC culture, that sort of drove this joke a little. Like the idea that the supervisor of the channel would be offended by me making comments about the show being called Sushi Bites and it being based on Japanese culture, like the idea of that being racist. But it was actually in response to, and I mentioned this as well in the first proper episode of Sushi Bites. I mentioned this properly, and that's that back when PewDiePie was a very small YouTuber, and I was watching him from quite early on, so I can quite proudly say. He was streaming a game on Wii. I think it was, it might have been Ju-On, a haunted house simulator, or it might have been Calling, but he was playing something, and the setting was a hospital, and the ghost jumped out at him, and it was like this silhouette, and the ghost said, the ghost jumped out of him, and PewDiePie said, "Ah! Get away from me, you black bastard!" Naturally, political correctness sets in. Everybody in the comments section of the video is like, "Oh my god! What a racist!" This is ages before the whole debacle with PUBG. And I'm thinking, okay, that's funny. Obviously people can take it the wrong way, but that wasn't what he meant at the time, or at least I didn't think that back then. So the whole point of this Sushi Bites episode was sort of like a joke about political correctness and it being over the top. Like the idea that I can't even have a show called Sushi Bites based on Japanese video games because it's racist to think people who eat sushi, that like only the Japanese eat sushi. Oh my god, it's SSJ Kenji! Hey Kenji. Yo! It's the Slim Gamer Man! Hey Slim, how's it going? We're watching through old episodes of Sushi Bites and I'm providing director's commentary. Okay. Let's continue! I sound like a dying duck. I can hear that.
This is Urusei Yatsura, Lum No Wedding Bell. A game about weddings takes place at an infant school. That sounds about right. Is that fire?
Now with that joke, I wanted to leave it silent for a short while, so then, is that fire? Would actually get a laugh. You've been watching an anime called Erased. Is it any good? It's a little bit like Life is Strange. Ooh. But didn't they say in Life is Strange, this isn't a video game or one of those animes? Didn't like Chloe say that to Max at one point?
So the goal of this game is to guide this girl up to the top of the building while it catches on fire. Actually, the layout of the school seems rather odd. No? Just me? Okay then. And these enemies are completely out of place too, really. You know this game is hard. Really hard. Shit. Bugger. Damn it. Your mother.
So all those reactions were obviously fake. The whole point was that I was harping on how in very early AVGN all the reactions were so totally faked. Like so totally fake. Like AVGN would go, "Ah, goddamn fucking piece of shit," and he wouldn't mean it. It would be like the most smallest thing. Like I remember, was it Karate Kid? When he did the Karate Kid, you put an iPad in a blender. That was smart. When he did the Karate Kid review, and it's like this game that's not actually bad. I'm pretty sure that he said afterwards that, you know, he played it up for humour, but like you watch old AVGN and the reactions are so ridiculously over the top for what's actually happening. So I decided that I was going to harp on that and make these very fake, unrealistic reactions. This video was only ever meant as a one-off. It wasn't going to be a series. It was uploaded, I'm pretty sure it was uploaded on April Fool's Day. Was it not? Oh, July 22nd. Okay, so it wasn't published on April Fool's Day. But it was a joke video. It was sort of a response to a previous video I had done called Castello di Illusioni. Actually, I'm going to see if I can find that video because what you will find is that this video was very much a sort of tongue-in-cheek nod to it. No, don't actually play it just yet. So we'll get to the end of the Sushi Bites episode, and then I'll show you the video that inspired the original Sushi Bites episode, and then you'll see where the sense of humour sort of came from.
Oh boy, this video is terrible. No, it's not racist. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you.
So that was the original Sushi Bites. The credits coming in and spinning like that is because like this whole video is meant to be a complete piss take. So anyway, the video that inspired this, a whole year previously, was a video I did called Castello di Illusioni Mickey no Densetsu, which was a stupid way of saying Castle of Illusion, Mickey's Adventure. It was a piss-take Let's Play of Castle of Illusion that lasted one episode. And it was just me going completely fucking crazy in front of a webcam. Back when I used to be a lot younger and a lot thinner, so you'll see that in the face. And also, I had a lot longer hair. So this might be interesting for a lot of you people who haven't seen this before. It's only got 63 views. But anyway, this video is the one that inspired... Escape Route British is alive now. Yeah, no shit. Me more, tell me more. I don't know why I use Summer Nights for this fucking please. That's my brother you saw very briefly there, and I was laughing crazily at him. He's on the phone in the background to, it was, I'm not sure if he and she were married back then, but he's on the phone to my sister-in-law, and he's like, oh dear, on the phone, because I'm going crazy. You'll hear it in the background.
So yeah, Castle of Illusion!
The original point of this video, apart from being a piss take, of course, was my brother has always been serious about making videos and getting into making videos, and up until this year, he was terrible for it. He would go, oh yeah, I'm going to work on a video, oh yeah, I'm going to work on a series, I'm going to make this thing, and then he never would. And the whole reason why I've never covered really horror games on my channel is because that was always his thing, and I didn't want to step on his toes. So for the past 6 years, I've stayed away from covering games I want to, like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Gregory Horror Show, because, you know, it's my brother's thing and I don't want to step on his toes. Because he's huge into horror. Anyway, this video was made using a rig that I set up for him. Like, I took his PC and I set him up with emulators, fraps, video editing software, and I'm like, look, I'm going to set this all up for you, so you can just play ROMs, record in 60 frames per second, all these emulators, PlayStation, Mega Drive, I'll set this all up for you. Look, I'm even going to edit a video on your PC to show you. And then, well, he never used it. I say up until this year, because this year he started a podcast with somebody I know, with actually two guys I know, two guys I'm quite friendly with that I met through my brother. He started a show basically with two friends from two different walks of life, a podcast talking about horror games, horror movies, horror television shows, and he did a spin-off about the new Twin Peaks season with one of them, and I'm so happy to see him get into that creativity that he never really jumped into before. This video is a relic of all that stuff I set up for him that he never actually got round to using. And this video, of course, served humour-wise as the sort of piss-take fake humour of the original Sushi Bites episode. Of course, once Sushi Bites became a season and became a real thing, I dropped this kind of stupidity, which is why the original Sushi Bites, Urusei Yatsura Love No Wedding Ballads, is such a piss take, and then this is, you know, from the first proper episode onwards, I actually took it seriously as a show. This is the video that inspired the stupidity and the craziness.
Yeah! I fucking hate this game!
I miss being this attractive, I do.
Yeah. Hey, don't be alarmed if Matthew...
I look like that guy who was like, hey, pizza! that old YouTuber. Oh. Fuck, what was his name? I'm gonna look for it now. I might actually have to go through my old liked videos to find this. I'll do it later, That face! Oh my god.
What kind of room is behind this door?
I bet it's one filled with shit gameplay.
Not far off, man.
Oh,
Not far
look
off.
at it straight away. I was so right. Fuck is this shit? You can mess a game. Look at the fucking plant's fucking heart. The fuck is that? A fucking heart. What? God. Oh, sorry.
So obviously I'm not actually this bad at Castle of Illusion. Just to clarify.
Mushrooms. Fucking Fantasia. What the crap?
Fantasia.
Okay.
Fantasia on Mega Drive is actually a bad
Keep
game.
on
This
like
isn't.
nothing happened. Just keep going. Fucking plant, butterfly, fuck. Oh, you fucking. Oh, you. Oh. Oh, right back here. Right back here.
Taking the piss, of course. And my brother's like,
Oh,
he's like
the
on the phone.
hell
He's
with
like,
this
oh dear.
game. You shit!
Oh dear, there it was! So overall, 5 out of 3. The music playing here is Shakespeare's Sister, Stay, in reverse. Man, that was... It was crazy good going back to that. That was the original video that inspired Sushi Bites. Sushi Bites was sort of a follow-up to that. And then eventually it became its own show with this episode. Some of the things I mentioned will, of course, come back into the commentary of this episode, and you now have some context for it. This is the original intro. Actually, I'm going to take you through the original intro because I want to talk about the games that are in it. So, Ghost Super Mikami, I did a video on this. Right, this is VG. This is a fighting game for the for the PlayStation. Variable Geo something or other. It's a 2D fighting game. This I haven't yet done a Sushi Bites episode on, but I intend to. Just getting around to it. The game here is, of course, Puyo Puyo Su, basically Puyo Puyo, which most Western gamers, including myself, first got introduced to in the form of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Right, this game here is... Oh, fuck, what's it called? Highbrow Shooting, fuck. Harmful Park for PlayStation. Appearing here in a Sushi Bites episode in 2014, I just want to point out, ages before JonTron featured it in his show. So if you wait until I release an episode based on this game and I see fucking comments you ripped off JonTron, I'm gonna point back, yo, this episode in 2014 featured it first. I was intending to cover this game and never got round to it. So that's Harmful Park. This bit in particular is based on Gulliver's Tales, which is why there's a big man trapped to the plank there. This is Tobal number 2. Tobal number 1 got released worldwide, but Tobal number 2 did not. It's a fighting game series created by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball. Again, this was a game I intended to cover and didn't get around to. That is Sanyo Pachinko Paradise, which is what this episode is based on. That's Goemon Shinsekai Shumei, I think, for the PlayStation 1. This is a New Age Goemon title. I haven't got around to doing a Goemon feature yet, but I do intend to. These are all games that I intend to cover eventually on the show. This is Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton, which I cover in the next episode. And this is Goiken Moyo Anarchy in the Nippon 2 for the PlayStation. There was an original game, Goiken Moyo Anarchy in the Nippon, for the Sega Saturn. want to take you through this intro one more time because of the song feature. This song is Futari no Seaside by Tommy February 6, which is a Japanese pop musician. Very good. Tomoko Kawase. And I just really liked the song. It resonated with me, so I took it into Acid Music, which is probably my favourite music program, and I just added a bunch of effects, flange, drum samples, all on top, and it was enough to sort of mask the song so it didn't get content ID'd on YouTube for the intro. If I play my full remix, it gets content ID'd. Whoa! It's Kelvin Fried Chicken! Happy New Year, Kelvin! It's a little bit longer yet for me, but yeah. I'm doing that for everybody who pops in today, every unique visitor, so it's not special treatment just for you, but you can think it is if you want.
Welcome to Sushi Bites. Wow, I never thought I was going to be able to say that again. I can't believe I've actually decided to revive Sushi Bites.
So, the idea to revive Sushi Bites, it was half and half. Right, this was the one that was released on April Fool's Day. The idea was half and half serious and half a piss take. Basically, it was coming up to April Fool's Day. I was thinking, okay, what can I bring back? I thought, okay, Sushi Bites. It was sort of like, this was planned as the third video in the Castello di Illusioni trilogy of piss take videos. But I was also thinking, well, I've got PlayStation Plus Japanese membership, which I have continued to renew every year. I have this Japanese PlayStation Plus membership. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play all these PlayStation 1 freebies that I get, because back then you got over 100 PlayStation 1 games for free on Japanese PlayStation Plus. Like, tons of stuff, including Crash Bandicoot, Ape Escape, the original Silent Hill, but all this other fucking insane stuff that I'd never seen before. As someone who enjoyed Japanese culture and enjoyed Japanese video games, there was all this stuff that to me was completely brand new. So I thought, okay, we'll see how Sushi Bites feels to work on, and if I like it, I'll carry on and continue making videos. So this was sort of like testing the waters, and if I didn't feel like working on another one, I could say, oh, it was an April Fool's. You know, so that's the reason why I was like, oh, I didn't think I'd make another one, because I was seeing, you know, I was cautious, do I make another one or not after this? Don't go down. You'll show everybody I've got TubeBuddy installed.
It was a video about, you know, if you're trying to be so careful you don't say anything bad about anybody, or you don't offend a race or a group of people, then you find yourself unable to say anything, because pretty much everything is offensive to someone.
So yeah, like I was saying earlier when we watched the original video, it was taking into account the original PewDiePie, oh my god, you black bastard situation, and how if you're extremely careful about what you say, you can never truly be creative. You can never truly express how you feel, because you're always conscious about how anything you might say might be offensive. So that's what I'm referring to here.
I've decided to put that original idea to one side. That's what the original Sushi Bites was about, but the whole focus now has changed to just talking about Japanese games in general. Japanese games that most of the time will be absolutely chock full of kanji and absolutely impossible to understand. And I think this is going to be a fantastic series if I approach it the right way. So,
it's going
to be a fantastic series if I approach it the right way.
So,
The So image. I googled Taiko no Tatsujin, and this image came up, and I loved it. I don't know the context behind it, but I still love this image so much that I felt that it just fit on the word so.
I've blabbed on for a while. Let's focus on today's games, and the games in this episode are pachinko games. Now, Japan, with their gambling, it's actually illegal to gamble for cash. The way they get around it in Japan, on the pachinko machines, is that you gamble for tickets or tokens, which can then be exchanged for prizes, or even exchanged for cash sometimes.
Now, it's interesting because you see in recent years, in like the last 2 years, Konami's been doing this thing where they're like, oh, we're going to focus on pachinko, we're going to focus on gambling, we're going to get gambling legalized because we have power in Japan to legalize gambling and to make it so everybody can gamble for money. And, you know, it's interesting because what I raise here in Sushi Bites about gambling and its loopholes, Konami has been focusing on trying to dismantle this recently. And I just feel like it's a little bit relevant to what's happening right now with what was once a fantastic, well-loved company who are now known for cannibalizing their old franchises for the sake of quick bucks.
So it's not the same as gambling for straight cash, and that's the loophole. I understand the allure of pachinko to a certain extent, because...
So if he's ERB and you're ERB, who's driving the car? Don't worry, Joseph is driving the car. It's alright, it's not a plane. Whoa! It's Blank Night! How's it going? We're watching old Sushi Bites episodes and I'm giving some director's commentary. Feel free to stick around if you like, and Happy New Year.
I before have dabbled in fruit machines, and I before have dabbled in like those quiz things where you tap the answers on the screen and you win money. I've dabbled in...
Oh my god! It's Cashy Head. Just one moment. Wish Sega did stuff with their old franchises. Yes. Admittedly not pachinko machines. I'd be pissed off if there was a Jet Set Radio pachinko machine. It's like, Sega! Trailer! Jet Set Radio! And Bobby Brown's back and he's like, yeah, you didn't think there'd be a third one, would you? Whew, I haven't been this excited since first date. I forgot my underwear, baby! Yeah! And then it goes, yeah, Jet Set Radio, back to Tokyo-to, back to Kogane-cho, back to Shibuya-cho, back to Benten-cho, boom, trailer, and then it goes, coming soon to Pachinko Parlors, 2019. Could you imagine? Fucking hell, I think I would kill myself. Cashy Head! How's it going? We're watching old Sushi Bites episodes, and I am providing director's commentary about what inspired the creation of the episodes. Feel free to stick around.
In it before, so I understand the allure of gambling, but at the same time, I don't understand why pachinko is super popular. I mean, they go as far back as the 1920s, but 1980s was when pachinko saw a huge boom in Japan, and the games we're going to be looking at today are Sanyo Pachinko Paradise, Sanyo Pachinko Paradise 2, Doggy Parade.
I wish I had kept this. Like, when I look at multiple games, I don't actually say beforehand, we're going to look at this, and this. This is something I need to do, again, with future episodes where I look at multiple games, is actually remember to say, we're going to look at Bing, 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 Bing. So this is actually something that I wish I'd previously done. Not a bad way to spend the last day of 2017, I suppose. Not a bad way indeed.
Raid Sanyo Pachinko Paradise 3. Sushi de Minamoto's 4 Sanyo Pachinko Paradise.
I probably should have said instead of 4, she, or, you know, whatever. I should have actually pronounced the numbers in Japanese. But early days.
And Exhilarated Good Catch Flag Sanyo Pachinko Paradise 5.
And it probably would have been better if I actually said their names in the original Japanese instead of this sort of bastardized fake Japanese. Where is the wine? Here is the wine. There is the wine. And there is the vanilla Coke to get rid of the actual taste of the wine. So all I get is the effect of the wine. I'm off for 2 days. I'm allowed to drink. Let's get on with it.
So basically, here's how these pachinko games operate on PlayStation. They're all developed by IREM. Most of them are code for code the same game. They have a...
I actually avoided making a JonTron reference there. I was like, all created by IREM. I remember IREM, but then I realised that that would just be copying JonTron, so I decided not to do it. Best way to interrupt yourself. Where is the wine? Agreed. IREM! Remember why no one remembers IREM? Yes.
few minor differences, like some of them they have quest modes and the quest modes are different, but for the most part they're basically the same thing code-wise. And you see, because you're not gambling for prizes or the chance to get money, I don't quite understand the allure of having pachinko in your home on a console where you can't win prizes. And also with these pachinko games in particular, there's no limit to the amount of money you can put into the machine. You can put in as much virtual fake money as you like. So there's no limitation. You can play pretty much forever.
There I am just flicking through the screen settings. I didn't actually mention that there were all these screen settings, like you can zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, stretch, you know. I didn't actually mention that in the review. I kind of wish I did back in the day.
There's nowhere to actually get stuff from the credits you have and to unlock things. There's actually none of that. And there's none of that in all 5 of these PlayStation 1 pachinko games. So that confuses me, because, you know, if there's no point in playing the game because you're not going to unlock anything, what's the point in playing? You can set it so the machine is a winning machine every time. Then what is the point?
Yeah, what is the point? So that was the first ever use of the which has now become the episode number screen. Fast ERB! ERB is too fast! I cannot focus on fast ERB.
In well, what is the point? If you can set the machine to infinite credits and you win every time, what's the point? I actually found myself playing these pachinko games for quite some time. I was actually starting to get into them, and that is what's frightening me. If I end up setting foot,
here is something that I wasn't necessarily ready to share. When I made this episode of Sushi Bites, I had just stopped going to my therapist. After a year of going to a therapist, I stopped. And he said to me, you know, there's still a lot we need to do. I understand that you no longer want to carry on with therapy. I wish you the very best of luck with life and all this and that. And I thought, okay, I've cut off this support line in my life. Now I need to find something to fill this gap. So I moved on to Sushi Bites. And the line that's coming up, and that's what frightens me. When I said that line into the microphone, I stopped. I stopped recording for a while. And I sat there and I thought about what actually frightens me. This show, Sushi Bites, has been my go-to for whenever anything in life has got me down and crushed me. Sushi Bites has been the show that I've gone to time and time again to pick myself back up. As you watch the rest of the episodes that we'll go through tonight, I want you just in the back of your mind to think, where was ERB when he recorded this? Let's continue.
Sometime I was actually starting to get into them, and that is what's frightening me. If I end up setting foot in a pachinko parlor, am I ever gonna leave? Because actually, it's kind of addictive, pachinko, especially with the screens and the flashing lights and the loud chimes and the jingles and the animations, and it's so... it's... I could imagine it becoming a problem for me if I...
That is the most fake reaction ever. I've come a long way. When it comes to recording voiceover, I've come a long way.
Lived or visited Japan. And you don't even have to play the game, you see, because they allow you, with this menu here, they allow you to play any of the animations off the Patchy slot machines. You can just watch
any of the animations of the Patchy slot machine under Sony's permission. Now, what I found out about Sanyo Pachinko Paradise is once they started making the 3D iterations, there's actually ways to get animations where the lady swims up with no clothing on at all. Yeah. For reals. And of course, Sony doesn't let you do that. So it's any animation of the machine that Sony approves of. This I didn't know when I recorded my original video.
Watch the animations that come up when you're doing really well. You don't even have to play the game. Now, if you're actually buying these pachinko games each, right, they will cost you just over £3.50 each. Are you
a little bit more now after Japan increased their VAT?
going to pay £3.50 or just under $6 for pachinko games each? This is where the PlayStation Plus membership comes in, because there have been a few games that I've found so far that I'm looking forward to talking about in future episodes that are...
Oh god. These stutters. These repeats. Why would you pay for this? No shit. No shit. Why would you pay for this? You'd have to be some pachinko mega fan to pay for this shit. There's actually people in the comments that were talking about actually buying these games and being into pachinko, and all the power to them, but I couldn't understand paying for these at all. That's why the PlayStation subscription is so good, because it meant that I got all these games for free.
Are actually really good, and your membership's worth it. But on the other hand, there's these 5 pachinko games that are worth shit. And here's the thing, right? IREM have continued to make these same pachinko games over and over and over and over on PS2, on PSP, Vita, and PS3. They have released.
Yep, they have. I'm not sure if they've done PS4 yet, but I do comment on that.
These pachinko games, and I would not be surprised if one shows up on PS4 at some point. The ultimate super 1080p pachinko experience in
It's 4K now, I think.
3D. Yes, you can enjoy pachinko like you're there.
Wouldn't you just go to a pachinko parlor to experience that? Like in Pokemon Red, you have the games and get the coins to get Paragon. I never understood that because you can just go to the game counter and buy the coins. So you don't even have to earn them. It's like, if you got the money, you just buy Paragon anyway, essentially.
But when I think of IREM, when I think of them as a studio, right? I think of Legend of Hero Tonma, I think of R-Type, I think of Hammer and Harry. Now they have a game based on the Hammer and Harry Gensan franchise on the PlayStation Plus subscription. And guess what? It's a pachinko game. Yes, a pachinko game. So, I mean, the opportunity to give away like
original
one
idea
of the
was
classic
that
Hammer
when
and
I say fuck in Sushi Bites, fuck, it was going to be yo instead of fuck. But since this episode, I decided that fuck was a banned word from Sushi Bites. I say crap, I say shit on Sushi Bites, but I will never, ever say fuck on a Sushi Bites episode. I will never say the F word, I will never say the C word, because I think those words aren't necessary. If you can communicate what you're feeling without using a swear, I think you should always communicate without the swear. However, if what you're communicating can only be communicated using a swear, then my friends, swear as hard as you can.
Harry games for PlayStation Plus subscribers. And what do? They give you a pachinko version. Who wants to play pachinko when you're being offered actual Hammer and Harry?
At some point, I'll get around to covering Hammer and Harry. The original Hammer and Harry for NES, or Gensan, was released... Yeah, use the swear for exaggeration. If something is really that bad, and the only way to express how bad it is to swear, then swear. It's like, oh, my fucking toe! Or my toe fucking hurts! You know, that's fine, because you're exaggerating. Anyway, what was the point I was going to say? That's right. The original Hammer and Harry was released on NES, but the sequel was not. And the Hammer and Harry game for PSP was localized. So, I think I should probably at some point cover Hammer and Harry on Sushi Bites. But it'll be another one of those games where, you know, some people, Soy Bomb for example, will tell me, well, doesn't that defeat the whole point in Sushi Bites? Isn't it that you're supposed to just talk about Japan-only video games? And to a certain extent, maybe. I mean, the title of the show, if we scroll down, the title of the show is Sushi Bites, only in Japan. But when I think about it, Sushi Bites is more than that. Sushi Bites has always been more than that. You can have a video game that's based on Japanese culture, that's developed by a Japanese developer, and isn't necessarily a Japanese video game. Some of the games that I want to cover in the future, there's a video game for PlayStation 2 with a microphone where you have to commentate on a scene that's happening in real time. Sushi Bites is for the ones who cry out in hunger. Okay, when I started working at Pound World, my colleagues, I was telling them about, oh yeah, I make videos about Japanese video games, it's called Sushi Bites. They actually thought that the show was about eating sushi and reviewing types of sushi. so many times on April Fool's Day, like 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Well, definitely 2015, 16, 17. I thought, you know what, for April Fool's Day, I should do an episode where I review sushi. And I've never actually done it. So you never know, I might do it next year, but I'm not sure. Yabi is live. Why did YouTube not tell me? Whoa, it's Invade Attack! Smoking! Yo, Invade Attack. How's it going? We are watching old episodes of Sushi Bites and commentating on them. Yes, so all sorts of interesting director-only commentary. I'm happy to see you here. I hope you learn a lot. I'm sure having a lot of fun talking about it. Shiny gay thoughts. Sending gay thoughts to Japanese name. Goodbye, gay thoughts. Yes, I remember that from the Discord. That was very funny. Of course. That is political correctness. You cannot talk about gay.
So I'm looking forward to talking about more of these cool games over future episodes of Sushi Bites. These have been
Cool.
5 very sort of...
Cool games. I say, I'm looking forward to talking about more cool games. And they're pachinko games. Pachinko games are not cool.
boring pachinko games.
Boring pachinko games. I'm looking forward to talking about more cool games, implying that I've already talked about cool games. Like Urusei Yatsura Alumno Wedding Bell and fucking Sanyo Pachinko Paradise are cool games. Fuck off.
They are just games where you shoot balls into a machine and there's no challenge and there's no reason to be playing and you
I feel
can't
like
unlock
we've
anything
exhausted
cool.
this
You
one
don't-
at points. Everything else is sort of repeated over and over. So, we're going to go on. I'm by those who say I can't talk about gay is the gayest people ever. Alright. I'm not by. I was repeating what the other said. So, did I change the intro? No, I didn't. Escape with British is live now. Oh, fucking shit, mate! Yeah, duh! He's live right now. Look, there's 5 watching. There's 5 watching.
Welcome to Sushi Bites. Success! Actually, maybe not success.
So, success! The people who developed this game were called Success. I probably should have explained that.
Depends how you gauge success, eh? Because where the Cotton series hasn't been super successful in sales, and only saw one game released outside of Japan, actually, is it really that good at all? Well, yeah, sort of, I guess. Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton, the words are in that order on the title screen, so sod it, they're that way around, I don't care what Wikipedia says, was developed by Success, and brought to the world by Sega, who stuffed it into arcades. It was mildly popular and saw several sequels. Woohoo! You play as Cotton, a pink-haired girl witch with an addiction to candies called Willows.
Willows.
So the main story of each game revolves around her
Willow. They're in English.
getting some Willows somehow,
I need to get some willows! I'm going to hell.
usually by defeating hideously grotesque enemies. Fun. This is the first installment, Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton, and this is the PlayStation version. This version wasn't released outside Japan, but the Neo Geo Pocket Color, TurboGrafx 16 Super CD, and arcade versions were, or at the very
So blah 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 blah. Basically what I'm saying here is there were English releases. The show is called Sushi Bites Only in Japan! Only in Japan! And I'm talking about a game that got English releases. When you think about it, Sushi Bites was never really a show about Japan-only video games. But, in a way, it also was. This version with Japanese text that is only available in Japan. Yes. My argument, as I go on in this video, is to say that the Japanese PlayStation 1 release is better. No, don't scroll down. Partner rating. This means it has flashing lights. This means... F means flashing lights. V means violence or disturbing. Yeah, these older episodes of Sushi Bites, I actually put through YouTube's show system. Which means that I could actually list them as a show on YouTube. Back when YouTube was like, we're going to have shows. We're going to have creators have shows. I thought, okay, I'm going to make a show. I'm going to make a show called Sushi Bites. It's my show. I own the copyright on the show because I'm talking about video games, which means I can show video games, and I don't have to have the copyright for video games because it's my show. So I made Sushi Bites as a show on YouTube. But the problem is, at some point, I forgot to do that, and then YouTube stopped anybody and everybody from being able to have a show on YouTube. So, it comes to the point where, after a certain point, a show for show, it came to a certain point where I couldn't actually... What graphics card do you have, OP? Whoa! I have an NVIDIA 750 Ti. YouTube has been up its own ass lately, so YouTubers are disappearing over violations. I'm probably violating 101 Geneva Convention rules by showing an anime girl, "Oh, please, help me, and I'll show you my titties."
This version wasn't released outside Japan, but the Neo Geo Pocket Color, TurboGrafx 16 Super CD, and arcade versions were, or at the very least they're in English, so you might have played it. Whoa, you say, it got released outside Japan? Why are you talking about it on Sushi Bites?
Why are you talking about it on Sushi Bites?
Well, why not? None of the other games in the series were, and anyway, if you're picking a version of the game, the Japanese PlayStation version is clearly the best. Sure, it doesn't boast a CD soundtrack like the TurboGrafx 16 version, but it's a straight arcade port, rather than that butchered shit the TurboGrafx 16 Super CD version is. To call it Super CD is bullshit, nothing super about it. So Fantastic Night Dreams is pretty basic for a shooter. You can shoot magic bullets, drop bombs, keep on forgetting what you wrote down, using magic spells, and ask...
Oh my god, that fucking joke. Did I really fucking say that? That is embarrassing. You might get a copyright strike from your own channel, yeah. Give it a few years, and I'll get a copyright strike, and I'll get a fucking letter from myself that I don't even remember writing, telling me that I've ripped off myself and I'm sending myself to court. That is how things are going these days. Kind of violent should have been more indigo. Oh, violet. Right, I see. You're making fun of what somebody typed. That's bullying. Anyway, I just got done playing a shit ton of Dragone Age. Oh no. Now I've bullied you. Inquisition, move on to Hack GU, and then finally going to start Final Fantasy 15. ERB, I really want to see that court case. Well, it's going to be no more stupid than The Man Who Sued God. Starring that guy with the stupid purple beard. I can't remember his fucking name. Billy something. Billy Connolly. Didn't he play a paedophile priest in X-Files?
Asking your fairy friends to sick on unsuspecting enemies. While Cotton, the fairy, and the premise of the game is goofy and dumb.
Premise? Oh my god. Premise. It's not premise. Stupid me.
The difficulty level and the mood of the game are unrelenting as all hell. It's a jokey...
Can I point out? Unrelenting as all hell. Here is a fucking moon a moon shaped like a skull. No shit.
Game. It's a very jokey game with a jokey storyline. Very comical, very humorous. But one play.
Oh my god. Sorry. That is too much brandy. It's going to take longer to get through this, sorry. The reaction was not to the video. It was to the amount of brandy in the cocktail. Apologies.
Place which that is immediately thrown on its head is how realistic and grotesque some of the environments in the game are.
So, in these original Sushi Bites videos, up until I can't remember when, but maybe the first 10 or so, I didn't have a script. I turned the microphone on, clicked record, and I talked. I talked, and I remembered the game, and I talked about things that happened in the game. No script. Problem was I had these 20, 30-minute recordings of just rambling. I mean, look at this. 7 minutes 51. 7 fucking minutes 51. And it was all rambling. I feel like since I started using scripts for Sushi Bites, everything became more concise. Like, I didn't repeat myself over and over and over again. Being away from streams because family was here, you don't have to apologize, Tack. It's the fucking Christmas season. Of course family is important, man.
Second boss is a giant skeleton. Got a boss later on in the game that's like Cleopatra with a wolf.
Wolf.
Got a boss later on in the game that's like Cleopatra.
Wolf. It's got a fucking mane. It's a lion. It's not a wolf. It's not a wolf. Wolves don't have manes. It's a lion. When I made the updated version of this episode for VidMe, who, by the way, VidMe went down, didn't it? After I put all these Sushi Bites episodes that I re-edited up on VidMe, VidMe went down. Fucking stupid. Anyway, so that's a lion, not a wolf. So, OP, what do you think of Fallout New Vegas? Fallout New Vegas is built off Fallout 3. So, I should love Fallout New Vegas. Because gameplay-wise, it's Fallout 3. But it doesn't have a sense of direction in the same way Fallout 3 does. Fallout New Vegas says, this person who fucked you over is in a town. Work out how to get there. Bye-bye. Whereas Fallout 3 is like, your dad? Maybe someone in Megaton knows. Get to Megaton. Maybe someone at this place knows. Maybe someone at this place knows. There's this narrative direction. So what I like about Fallout 3 is you talk to someone, they say, oh, you got to go here. There's an arrow. You follow the arrow. You get to the place. You do the thing. With Fallout New Vegas, there's a lot more freedom. And for most people, freedom is great in an RPG. They love to jump in and go, oh yeah, freedom, get into this. But me? I prefer a game where the narrative is a straight line, but I can deviate from the narrative if I like. Now with New Vegas, the narrative is less of a straight line and more of a broad open stretch where you can go literally anywhere. And I prefer games where I can go boom, straight line, direction, go there. If I want to do the story is straightforward. With the original, with Oblivion, right? With Oblivion, you can do that whole game in like an hour and 30 minutes, in 2 hours. If you just focused on the story, set the difficulty to easy, you could blast through. Whoa, hey! I've come out of the prison. Whoo! Gates of Oblivion at that town. Go to the Gates of Oblivion. Hello, son of the Emperor, who nobody knew existed because he was a bit of a promiscuous prick. Oh, I'm gonna go to Cloud Ruler Temple. Go get a thing from a thing. Yeah, I got a thing from a thing. Go back. Way, let's go fight the Oblivion Hordes, innit? Game ended, right? I like games that are narrative straight line, but then if you say, you know what? Today, instead of doing the story, I'm gonna go check out that town over there and see if anybody's offering any jobs or any missions. That's what I like. And that's why, although New Vegas is great, and I like the world of New Vegas, and I like the desert, I prefer a game where I can jump into the story and go straight line. I know that's a rare opinion, that people prefer a nice open world. But the thing with Fallout 3 is, yeah, it's a straight line to the story, but if you decide, you know what, I want a straight line to my destination, but there's a fucking factory over there. Let's jump in the factory and see what's going on. You can. So you've got that freedom. New Vegas is, well, the fucker who put a bullet in your head is in some town 50 miles away. Work out how to get there. And that's it. You're not given any clues outside of, ooh, maybe someone in a nearby town knows. And that's it. It's just, I prefer direction. Let's have a look through the comments. New Vegas was made by people who made the first two Fallouts. Yes, that's correct. I love Fallout New Vegas because it's so open. I can understand that. That's why I don't like it. Fallout New Vegas was pretty straightforward. Benny's in New Vegas follow the highway. Yeah, but you can't just get into that town. You have to know how. Fallout 257 is my favourite. You're taking the piss. Hello, Mirage. Not if you're me. I spent 20 hours in my current gameplay, and I have not done helping the guy at the start location. All the power to you. I stay away from doing main stories in Bethesda games. The main stories are weak a lot of the time in Bethesda games. Like, there's that saying, it's not about the destination, it's about the friends we made on the way. And Bethesda games are like that. They can do lore and side levels, but I don't care for their stories. Yeah, same for me. Like, it's not that I don't care, it's just sometimes I just want to make some progress on the main story. And with Fallout 3, it's like, boom, 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 boom. Here's where you got to go, here's what you got to talk to. Here's where you got to go, here's where you got to talk to. Boom, 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 boom. Obvious. With Fallout New Vegas, it wasn't. Anyway, that was a nice Fallout New Vegas tangent from Sushi Bites' commentary.
With a wolf head for its...
A wolf head! It's a fucking lion.
Stomach. Yeah, some of this stuff is truly horrifying, and it's it's quite a juxtaposition between that and the cute cotton enemies.
Oh, Randy.
Take ridiculously large amounts of bullets, and every time you die, your attacks get weaker. You level up your attacks to make them stronger, but if you keep dying, you can get stuck in a bad place. What more? Continue twice, and you are flung back to the start of the stage. How bullshit. You go about shooting enemies and gaining...
A lot of shmups do that. Cotton, if you game over twice, it sends you back to the start of the level. Because it thinks, okay, you're stuck in a rut. Gunbird, after like stage 6, will do that with every death. Gunbird and Gunbird 2 will do that with every death. No! You died! Back to the start. For a second I thought you cringed so much. I love cringe humour, so watching back old episodes of mine is fun for me.
Experience. You also get these gems, they fall out of enemies, and if you shoot the gems, they change colour, like the bells in Twinbee, for example.
What I probably should have done there is show Twinbee.
But if you shoot them too much, they'll break. There are 4 colours that these gems can go. Yellow, which is the default colour, that just gives you experience. Then there's a darker yellow, a sort of orangey yellow, that gives you more experience. Then there's red, which is red fire dragon magic, and blue, which is lightning magic. Now the magic, to use that you have to hold down the shoot button until Cotton starts cut.
3 hour and 4 mins until New Year. 45 mins. Yeah, 3 hours and 45 mins for me.
Casting the spell, and then let go, and she'll use the next magic in the lineup down the bottom. You can only store about 5 magics at a time. But if you keep dying, you're not going to have that many of them anyway. I don't like the difficulty level in Cotton. That's not to say it's a bad game, because
I think it's pretty obvious here that I'm not using a script for
it
this.
isn't. It's just very challenging unless you're playing on easy difficulty, which is more like normal mode on any ordinary game that isn't bullshit hard. But the easy difficulty really is the other end of the spectrum. Most bosses die in just one magic spell. It's good fun. Worth a look. The PlayStation version is my favourite, as you've probably already gathered, but to play the game in English you're going to want the arcade version. You can play that on MAME. I'd love to see
MAME. You can play that on illegal ROM download
on the Live Arcade or PlayStation Network, if those are even things anymore. They're not, are they?
Back in 2014, I'm making jokes about how Xbox Live and PlayStation Network are nothing, and now, in 2017, I'm looking back, I'm like, well, they were certainly something then, but they're nothing now.
What draws me to Cotton is the cute art style, the disturbing art style, the fun gameplay, the excellent soundtrack, and the fact that it's available in a difficulty level that I would enjoy playing on, where I'm not forced to do things that are completely unexpected of me. The PlayStation version released on the Super Light label, you can get it for, I believe, 300 yen on the...
300 yen! Only 300 yen!
PlayStation Network store, so it's very, very cheap. And it's free to PlayStation Plus subscribers. Let's have a look at some...
It was free for PlayStation Plus subscribers. It's not anymore.
And it's free to PlayStation Plus subscribers. Let's have a look at some other Cotton games as well, while we're here, seeing as this has been very short and very uninformative.
Now I said, because it's been very short and very uninformative, and I actually got a comment. Like, actually it's not been uninformative? Who was it who said that? Because I remember it was someone fairly important. Yeah, Gemini Laser. YouTuber Nathaniel Hoover, who does videos on Mega Man games. He's like, uninformative? Not at all. It was at that point I realised I should be less hard on myself. And it was because of that comment that since then I don't make comments in Sushi Bites like, you could be watching something better, or my show doesn't tell you anything, because I realised that I was too hard on myself. I think we all are, to a certain extent, too hard on ourselves. Take it easy, man. You deserve that cheeseburger. Alright, Kevin. Haru? Placento! You are your own worst critic. That is so true.
A reimagining of the first game called Marchen Adventure on the Super Famicom, which is super easy and super cute, completely unlike the original. Worthy of the Super. It even has a cool looking remake of the second level, notably less horrific than before.
I probably should have said more about the Super Famicom game, but we're already on to the next one. Oh dear.
There is also a Mega Drive spin-off called Panorama Cotton, which is absolutely
Panorama
insane.
Cotton. Let's have a look at the date. 2014. April 5th, 2014. So if you go to me and go, But JonTron did a video on Japanese shooters, and he talked about Panorama Cotton. Oh, you're ripping off JonTron. Well, all I have to say about that is... No, I'm not. And also, RIP headphone users.
It's like Afterburner, but all powered up. It's a really difficult game, but well worth looking at. Good luck finding it. It is probably the rarest Mega Drive game in existence.
Even rarer, if you get this game with, believe it or not, the special edition of this game came with a teacup. A teacup. Not an ordinary handle, you know. Here's one from Harrods. An ordinary handle teacup. No. It comes with a fucking Japanese green teacup. That version is like £600. £600! What you are looking at right now is a game that costs you £600 to buy pre-owned. I'm just saying. That is a lot of money to spend.
Well, it certainly has the price tag to match anyway. There's also a Sega Saturn and arcade sequel. I haven't played that, so I can't judge.
Since making this episode, I have played these. It's good. It's as good as the original Cotton. The spin-off, Boomerang, is even better.
There was also a remake of sorts afterwards that was the same game again but slightly different. Haven't played that either.
I've played it, it's good.
And there's also Rainbow Cotton on the Dreamcast. It looks amazing, but unfortunately it's kind of dull, and the levels go on forever.
It plays like a bad Lilac Wars.
It has full motion video cutscenes and delicious graphics, but plays like a poor Lilac Wars.
Never mind, I said that! Oh boy!
It's cool, but that's about it. And then there's a, oh god forbid, a pachinko game based on Cotton released on the PlayStation 2. And that marked the start of the downfall for Success, who have just gone on to make visual novel games.
They make visual novels now. They released a shit ton of visual novels for PlayStation 2 and for PSP. And I haven't seen them make anything since. As Ashens would say, a fitting punishment. So this is the Ghost Super Makani episode. This is still one of the episodes that I'm most proud of. Like episode 3 of Sushi Bites. And I'm so proud of this episode. When I re-edited these episodes to put them up on VidMe, I cut out loads of nonsense from the episodes. Loads of stuff that I thought was prattle, was over the top, repeated. This episode had no edits. The only thing I did was put in a black screen, white text, original upload date. There were no edits to this episode. Everything else had an edit. Sanyo Pachinko Paradise had an edit. Cotton, I corrected the fact that I said wolf when it was a lion. And I cut out some crap. This was his last stream. It says you're playing Jet Set Radio. Yes. That's so hopefully some people turn up. I could have said it to Mario Brothers, but it was just the hopes that people would turn up. I didn't bother to change the name of the game that I was playing, to be honest. With you. Totally. Couldn't be bothered. It's alright, really. By the way, Jet Set Radio. There's an achievement. You have to beat the game without getting grabbed. Without getting grabbed. Now, are you aware how difficult that is in Jet Set Radio? So what I'm going to do is take a save file where I've been grabbed and a save file where I haven't been grabbed. Both saved before the first level, and I'm going to have a look at the one fucking byte in a hex editor. The one byte that is different. And then I'm going to know that that byte is the byte that says you've been touched. And then I am going to edit that fucking byte in a save file I've got before the final boss that says that I've never been fucking grabbed. And then I'm going to get the achievement the easy way.
And play Otage. Otage. Yes, yes.
Welcome to Sushi Bites. Ghost Sweeper Mikami is a manga series created by Takeshi Shina. It spawned an animated show and 2 video games, as well as pachinko machines.
What the fuck is
The
this?
animated show is something really special,
Hello, Mirage.
and all fans of
Ghost
vintage
Sweeper
anime
Mikami.
should really take a look at this one-of-a-kind, sexy and spooky series. Lots of laughs, lots of fun moments. Here is the gist. Reiko Mikami is a hot-blooded Catholic exorcist.
Catholic why? Gistropa Mikami. Oh my god. When Image Flexion rewatches this VOD, Gistropa Mikami is going to make it into the Escape Route British Dictionary. Let's turn that off.
Who loves money. She runs an exorcism company aided by the young Tadeo Yokoshima and a ghost named Akinu. They get into silly situations and ultimately succeed in extorting huge sums from their victims. I mean clients. Of the 2 games based on the show, I want to talk about the PC Engine one first. I wish to do this so that once we've got this boring filth out of the way, we can
Someone
focus...
make that a command. Okay. Is that in it? Apparently not. Okay. Nightbot's asleep.
on the awesome one.
Nightbot has an additives. Nightbot contains no additives and is vegan friendly. Install Nightbot now and see what Nightbot can do for you.
So firstly, let's discuss the PC Engine CD Ghost Sweeper Mikami game. When you're making a game of Ghost Sweeper Mikami, you would really want to consider making action the key part of the game, the most important part of the game. And herein lies the problem with the PC Engine CD version of Ghost Sweeper Mikami.
It's shit!
There is no action.
There is no action! It's shit! I wish I had just come out and said it. Like, the problem with the PC Engine Ghost Mikami game is that it's shit.
The majority of the game is spent either picking random cards from your hand that go against the enemy's random cards, and you either do or don't deal damage accordingly.
Like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, am I right?
But there's no way to work out what each card does, or what card your opponent is going to have, so it's all luck. And the other part of the game, which is entirely cutscenes that are in complete Japanese. I'm sure it's interesting to people who can understand it, but for me, it's just a case of keep having to go through the same button press trees over and over and over and over again until I actually find out which one progresses
Pretty obvious
the game
I'm not using a
forwards
script here.
to another tree of selections.
So
I'm
many
sure
pauses.
it's a fantastic game for people who understand what's going on and like, you know, a bit of luck in their games. But to me, it just seems like an absolute squandering of the potential of the Ghost Sweeper Mikami license, and it's incredibly disappointing to think that only 2 main Ghost Sweeper Mikami games were made, and only one of them
here?
is any good. And
These portraits, right, on screen? I've always wanted to do like a ROM hack of Puyo Puyo. Like, you remember the characters have the big portraits in the middle? Like, I've always wanted to make a ROM hack where I transpose like these portraits into Puyo Puyo. I'd love to do something like that.
that is the Super Famicom version, which we will be looking at now.
Now, here it comes. A game I have streamed twice. Once, like, it was stream number 4 or 5 on this channel, and the second time, when I hacked my Super Nintendo Mini. Here you are, you beautiful bastard, best thing on planet Earth. I love you so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. You are so hard to get hold of. When I hacked my SNES Mini. There it goes on the floor. I am bad parent. When I hacked my Super Nintendo Mini, I added this game on there. And then I streamed it through again, so I've streamed it twice. And I think there's going to be plenty more times that I stream this game. I've looked online and, like, the speed run time for this game is like 35 minutes. And the first time I streamed this game, I streamed it no mistakes in like 45 minutes. So I think with enough practice, I could speedrun Ghost Sweeper Mikami. If you're interested in the speedrun of Ghost Sweeper Mikami, go to my Twitch channel, twitch.com/profile/. Maybe I'll get around to it at some point. Thank you, Keshi.
This is Ghost Sweeper Mikami Joreshiwa Nice Body.
Ghost Sweeper Mikami graces the exorcism with her nice body. I think ERB is about to tell you that.
For the Super Famicom, it literally translates to Ghost Sweeper Mikami graces the exorcism with her nice body.
This game is safe for work, and unlike many games that we will eventually cover on Sushi Bites.
Don't worry, although the name sounds very risque or risky, you don't have to be alarmed in this case. This game is perfectly safe for work, a lot more than some of the games we may eventually cover on Sushi Bites. So
That's important, because when I do the episode on Galgun, I quote that. Oh no!
A game that I think is actually good. It's a side-scrolling platformer. It was
side-scrolling
developed by
platformer.
Natsume, who made Poppy and Rocky, Kiki Kai Kai in Japan.
Kiki Chichi.
They made Harvest Moon. And this is another game that really backs up their library of fantastic games. It's a straightforward side-scrolling platformer. You have a sword-type weapon that you can attack with. This is a tool that Mikami uses in the TV series and manga to attack enemies and to ward off
This is
demons.
a tool
So
that
it's part of the
Macaulay. This is a tool that Macaulay uses in Home Alone 4 when Macaulay goes to Japan and fights ghosts.
series canon, and I like that they didn't just make a weapon up. And you go around hitting ghosts and knocking ghosts out, finding the main enemy of each level, killing that enemy, and taking a jewel or gem that they drop. And then eventually, once all 7 gems have been
Home Alone 7 Lost in Japan. Home Alone 7 Lost in Translation, featuring Bill Murray as the creepy fucker that breaks into the Japanese flat.
uncovered, you fight the final boss. It's basically a really, really good, challenging platformer. You have to play on normal to see the whole game, and it's challenging. It's not impossible by any means in terms of difficulty, but it does require lots of memorization and lots of getting used to the game's mechanics.
If anyone remembers that some weird mumbo jumbo, a US company now owns the rights to Harvest Moon, yeah, who the fuck is it? Because I see it on Steam and it's like, yeah, new Harvest Moon on PC. This is what you've wanted all your life, gamers. Here it is, 10% off in the Steam Winter Sale. Are you fucking kidding me? 10% off! What kind of reduction is that?
And really getting a feel for it, but I really do consider it a game worth getting to grips with and understanding, because its mechanics are so good.
They are.
Now, where I think the game shines the most, I mean, the platforming's good, and the levels are fun, and they're quite lengthy.
And Mikami's got big tits.
But where I think the game really shines the most is the boss battles. Now, the first boss is kind of
Why is the gameplay footage cut off at the bottom? I have no idea why, but that looks really fucking bad. Why didn't I catch that? I believe the people who made Harvest Moon had to make a new IP. I forget what it was. It was... Fuck, it was something... Something Rune. Something Rune, wasn't it? It was like, here is a sci-fi Harvest Moon. We don't want to have a fucking sci-fi Harvest Moon! We want a real Harvest Moon.
predictable, boring, not much
That's it, Rune Factory. Fuck off.
really goes on, but every other boss battle in the game is very interesting, has its own cool gimmick or mechanic that it brings in. So the second boss battle is against a doll, and you can't attack the doll directly, you've got to attack its hands. You have to defeat both its hands. There's a boss that is a ghost of a dog, and it can spawn another, like, imitation of it.
Do you ever get bored of listening to me? Because holy shit, I get bored of listening to me. Unpause.
Itself, and you have to fight the two of them at once. That's pretty cool. And then later on there's a boss who's a clown that jumps on top of a giant rat.
At the point of recording this, I wasn't aware who the clown was. So, for explanation purposes, the rat is actually the person. The rat is the spirit of somebody or other that Mikami fucking, like, passed her Catholic judgment on and ruined his life, and he's like, I'm a really angry fucking rat. So he, in the way that, like, characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure have, like, a stand that's like a spiritual projection of themselves, the rat has the spiritual projection of this clown, essentially. And the clown is himself. So it's not that the... Whoa, it's the boss baby! Oh, it smells like fire! What's up, boss baby? Check it out. It's your boy, Escape Route British, coming at you live on New Year's Eve. Welcome. Please enjoy. I'm just spreading commentary goodness on old episodes of Sushi Bites. Feel free to stick around if you like. You are totally welcome. I think ERB is drunk. Or drunk is ERB. Then who was phone? But John, you are the zombies.
and spawns little tiny clowns, and if there's 3 of them on screen at once, they play a tune, and you get turned into a little...
So the playing the tune is actually... In this whole episode, the 2 episodes actually, this boss battle was based on 2 episodes of the show, and in the 2 episodes of the show, Mikami is turned into a girl. And Yokoshima, who's usually like, oh my god, Mikami's so hot, I'm gonna fucking jack off while she's in the shower. Yokoshima's like, oh my god, Mikami's a young girl, ooh, I feel like such a pedophile. He's like, you know what, Mikami, let's go on a bus to this amusement park, because you think there's some spirit here who's responsible for turning you into a young child. So actually Mikami's like a young child in these 2 episodes, whereas in the game they just like play a tune and turn her into a girl, but in the actual 2 episodes she's actually turned into a girl by the presence of this evil clown. So essentially, the giant rat, he has a stand whose ability is to turn people into young girls. So essentially, Alessi's a rat, right? Alessi is a rat. Because Alessi can turn people into children. And by that extension, this rat can turn people into children. So therefore, Alessi was reincarnated as a rat, essentially.
Girl for 10 seconds or whatever, and you can't attack, and that boss battle's pretty cool. But the coolest boss battle, in my opinion, is the boss battle.
This boss battle is fucking cool. And I did appreciate that when Soybomb finally got through this level, because he played this game because I became a sponsor for his YouTube channel. He played this level, he got through the shit level, and he got to this boss battle, and I could tell that he thought it was cool. And it is cool. It is such a cool boss battle, because you're fighting a younger version of Mikami who is more spry, more nimble than you, has more moves, has more abilities. But, like, you face off against her and you prove, I am the real Mikami. I'm better than some ghostly apparition of my younger self. Fuck, this boss battle is so cool. I know that I'm drinking alcohol, and I'm repeating myself, and I'm rambling. But this boss battle is the reason why I am proud. I spent like 20 quid to buy this game on the Super Famicom cartridge and get it imported into the UK so I could stream, so I could play it and stream it. So good. So good. This game, you owe it to yourselves. If you are a Super Nintendo emulation enthusiast, you have a Super Nintendo emulator on your computer, and you download Super Mario ROMs and play them on your computer, you owe it to yourselves, man. Play this game. It's so good. God damn.
Battle on the Playboy Mansion level, because you fight.
I just say, like, on the Playboy Mansion level, I don't draw attention to the fact that the level is set in the Playboy Mansion. You know, Japan has this strange obsession with Playboy. There were 2 games for the Sega Saturn that were Playboy-themed karaoke games. Seriously, Playboy-themed karaoke games. Look forward to them on Sushi Bites.
You fight an apparition, a younger version of Reiko, from when she was being trained to become an exorcist. And that boss battle is really tricky because of the way she moves during that boss battle, because she's got most of the moves you have, and a couple you don't. And you have to be...
Holy shit. What, holy shit that there's 2 Playboy-themed karaoke games for the Sega Saturn. Welcome to Japan. Japan is fucked up. They have a video game called 6-Inch My Darling. 6-Inch My Darling. I know, right? You think it's a game about 6-inch penises, but it's actually a game about 6-inch people. But 6 6-inch, my darling. Japan is fucked up. Japan is so fucked up. This is why I do this show, because Japan is so gloriously fucked up.
Be fully aware of what's going on to be able to tackle that boss. And then what?
To answer your question, boss baby. To answer your question, I have something to play you. Alright? I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. Basically, this response. Let's see how well Google can translate. It can. YouTube can translate drunk speech. To answer your question, boss baby,
Samuel L. Jackson.
here it comes. Are you ready? Boss baby, here is the answer to the question, does ERB like hentai?
Does Samuel L. Jackson like anime?
Yes, I do. Hentai too.
Does Samuel L. Jackson like anime? Yes, I do. Hentai too. Yes, Samuel L. Jackson likes anime and hentai. And guess what? I do too.
Once you defeat that apparition,
Oh.
you still got to fight.
Samuel L. Jackson and William Shatner. William Shatner, Captain fucking Kirk from Star Trek. Get this. William Shatner has several times on Twitter said how much he loves anime and has talked extensively about Love Life. Yeah, the Idol anime. William fucking Shatner. The other day, just after Christmas, J-List tweeted that they had offered to send William Shatner an honor hole, fake vagina, an honor hole of his favourite Love Life girl to him, but William Shatner had blocked J-List. What a crazy fucking world we live in. Samuel L. Jackson and William Shatner love anime and hentai. What a crazy world we live in. Oh man. Sometimes I think there is a God, because the world that I exist in is so fucking outrageous. I can't possibly, as sometimes, believe it to be real. Oh my god. It's like that senator in the USA. I can't remember his name now, but there was a senator who posted a tweet with a screenshot, and in his fucking browser tabs was, you reminded me of this, boss baby. In his browser tabs was fucking tentacle hentai doujinshi. And it just reminds me of what a crazy world we live in. Like, I was watching the live stream of Sonic Fan Games, like the Fan Game Expo, and the guy who was streaming it, he wasn't even aware, like, that when you open a new tab in Google Chrome, it opens your most recent, most popular tabs, and he had fucking Sonic Hentai tabs. So he opened a new tab, and up came fucking Sonic Hentai on Rule 34. This is the world we live in. I love it. I am so fucking humbled and overjoyed to live in a world where I can stream my old shitty YouTube videos and talk about people linking and having tabs open, linking to hentai. And people can sit here and watch me stream. It's fucking humbling, man. I love all of you so much. Happy 2018, guys.
They're like the horse guy that made the apparition appear, and you could just wail on him because he has no attacks.
Oh.
He can't fight back, so you just wail on him 6 or 7 hits and just watch him.
Oh god.
Watch him ride around in pain. It's so cool. Yeah, in terms of what Ghost Sweeper Mikami is about.
Buff Sonic. You know, I used a buff Sonic in the thumbnail for my video about Sonic Mania containing DRM. I feel like Samuel L. Jackson is a thigh lover. Look at his love life tweets. You will learn a lot. You will learn a lot about that man, and you will be proud of him every step of the way.
I think the action game gets it, the Super Famicom game, because it's really action-based, really fun, really fast-paced, compared to that boring card game with so much talking. Basically, the way I look at it is this, right? Ghost Sweeper Mikami, if you're a fan of vintage manga or vintage anime, if you like horror, if you like something a little bit raunchy, I think you will...
A little bit raunchy. Ghost Sweeper Mikami. A little bit raunchy, yes. But it has a lot of heart. Like, the manga's okay. I own like 5 volumes of the manga. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy, right? I did the video on Ghost Sweeper Mikami. And I talked about how good the manga was and how good the anime was. A few months later, my local video game, like, shop, owned by a few, like a husband and wife, who love video games, and love talking about video games. My mum is here. Okay. These two who love video games. They do... They run the shop. You can turn down your volume, you know. True. They run the shop where they sell video games independently. And all of a sudden, just one day, there's 5 volumes of Ghost Sweeper Mikami in there. Just randomly. In there. And I look, and basically, when I go to sleep at night, there is one recurring theme that happens in my dreams most nights of the week. And you know what that recurring dream is? The Discord link is in the description, by the way. And no, I have no NSFW channels. I insist against it. Basically, I walk in there, and I see these 5 volumes of the Ghost Sweeper Mikami manga. And every night, when I go to sleep, without fail, I dream that I go to charity shops and I find all these things I've always wanted, and I buy them. I go to charity shops, I go to Goodwills, I go to shops where they sell just bric-a-brac for charity. And I go in there, and there's a video game I want, or there's a manga I want, or a toy I want. Sometimes there's stuff that doesn't even exist, and I've imagined it in my head, and it's there. And so many times there was this recurring dream that I would go into a charity shop, and what I would find is the Ghost Sweeper Mikami manga. It'd be like, I want this. And the person at the counter would go, I have no idea what this is. What is this? It's in fucking Japanese. £1 each. Get rid of it. And I would always dream that. And then I go to Level Up Games, and one day in there, after I've done my purchasing, after I've bought some games, like I bought something for the Super Famicom. I think it was like the Japanese version of, like, oh, what's it called? The game, the shmup. It's like something 99. I can't remember. I buy this Super Famicom cartridge. I'm like, great, I got the Super Famicom cartridge. Like, the stuff that you would never see anywhere else. Where I'm from, Canterbury, you'd never see a Japanese game anywhere else than Level Up Games. You'd never see it anywhere else in the fucking city. You'd never see it in a charity shop. You'd never see it in any sort of independent games retailer. You'd only find that shit in Level Up Games. Like, the best fucking shop in Canterbury. Like, I walk into Level Up Games. I do my purchasing. And on the way out, I catch, from the corner of my eye, the Ghost Sweeper Mikami manga. And there's that moment where you want to pinch yourself. You're like, am I dreaming? Is this real? You think that's air you're breathing? Can jet fuel melt steel beams? You're like, thank you, God. You're in that moment where you're like, oh my God. There is someone up there in those clouds, and he's thinking of me. It's that moment. You're like, oh my God. And it was that moment when 5 volumes of Ghost Sweeper Mikami were inexplicably in an independent video game retailer, tucked away in the fucking dankest corner of Canterbury. Back when Level Up Games were in the Burgate. There, in their shop. 5 volumes of... Fuck, I realise, sorry, that I've gone on and on about this. I've probably had this video paused for like 5 minutes, but it was there. It was that moment that I realised that there's something more to this life. Like, when you want something and you find it and you realise that it's your direction, it's your meaning in life. I know that sounds so vague and so wacky and tacky and gacky and facky and lacky and all these other wacky words. It sounds so fucking stupid. But you sit in that moment and you think, my God, this is my direction in life. It was when I saw those 5 volumes of Ghost Sweeper Mikami in Level Up Games that I realised, shit, this is my life, you know? This is my direction. This is what I care about. This is what I'm interested in. And Sushi Bites is that. Of all the shows I do, of all the things I do, opinionated, mate. Sushi Bites. Just random video uploads. Of all the things I do, of all the things I care about, Sushi Bites is right there at the top. Underneath all of you subscribers who I insanely care about. You guys are above everything in my life. Besides, of course, my family, of course. They're right at the top of the pyramid. I mean, you guys are above my job. You guys are above whether or not I breathe any oxygen, you know? I fucking love you guys. Let's carry on.
Love Ghost Sweeper Mikami, but even if you don't take the time to look at the animated series or look at the manga, I would absolutely suggest, if you even so much as consider yourself a fan of 2D act.
The emphasis on fan there. If you consider yourself so much as a fan.
Action platformers. If you consider yourself a retro gamer, you
if you consider yourself a retro gamer.
Owe it to yourself to play Ghost Sweeper Mikami, Jureishiwa Nice Body all the way through.
I like how I'm like, Ghost Sweeper Mikami, Jureishiwa Nice Body. Like the title of the game matters, I can just say Ghost Sweeper Mikami. I mean, nobody is going to play that PC Engine game. Nobody is going to give a shit. But I'm like, if you're going to play Jureishiwa Nice Body, why do I care so much about the fucking title? Why can't I just say, Ghost Sweeper Mikami?
Such a good game. I bought it as an actual import recently.
I did. I bought it as an import cartridge. It cost me 20 quid. Seriously, I fucking enjoyed it so much. You have no idea. Playing it on hardware is like 10 times better than playing it on emulator. I honestly think that about all games. Like, you can Google right now. You can go to Google. You can insert any game. You can fucking say Sega Saturn Dance Mix Nami Amuro, and you can get this fucking like 1,000 releases tops Sega Saturn game based on Nami Amuro's music. That's powered by the Virtua Fighter 3 engine. Would you believe? And it's a dancing game. Powered by the Virtua Fighter 3 engine. You can like go on Google right now and get some super rare Sega Saturn game. But at the end of the day, regardless of whether you download that game and burn it to a disc, or whether you buy the actual game, playing it on the hardware is 10, if not 100, if not 1,000 times better than, playing it on the hardware is 10, 100, 1,000 times better than playing it on an emulator. And that will always be true. As you say, Invade Attack, it will always be 100, if not 1,000 times more impressive and more awesome and more real to play a game on the hardware than it is to play it on an emulator. Always. So at this point in this episode, I'm saying, guys, get this fucking game. Like, of all the games I've covered, here's a record skipping, here's Drunk. As I said previously, in an episode, in a stream of Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, that pooper guy came in and he was like, oh, I thought I could break the rules because you were drunk. The truth is, I can always sober up. Now, I've never, ever, ever been in a situation where I'm drunk and at work, but I think I'm one of those, functioning alcoholics. The truth be told, I could be drunk all day and run my job. I could put stock out on the shelves, I could tell customers where to go to find stuff. I could totally, 100% of the day, be drunk, and I could function. And that's the truth. The reason why I'm so lightheaded and repeating myself all of the time now is because I am here at home, outside of work, with people who I consider my best friends. I mean, most of the people here in the chat, outside of the boss baby, who probably will get this at some point. But almost all of the people here have fucking wrenches by them. They're my best friends. They're people I trust. Not that I don't trust you, boss baby, I do. But what I'm saying is, the people here right now are people with fucking wrenches by them. They're my best friends. I mean, that's the most important thing, like, to me. Everybody who comes to my stream, if they follow my small my small pool of rules, they are automatically my best friends. And amongst all of you, I feel like I can let my guard down and just be me. But if I wanted to, I could sober up.
in the past couple of years. I've played it on my Famiclone, my Super Famiclone. I've got a Retro Duo, and sitting back with that and playing that game through all the way was so much fun. Playing it on the physical controller just made it all the more better. But even if you can't do that, download the ROM.
Download the ROM.
Download the ROM.
Download the ROM.
And play it yourself. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I really enjoyed it, and
I'm condoning piracy there.
I just wanted to share that enjoyment of this game with you. It's nice to have a game here on Sushi Bites that I can actually say...
That's true. A game on Sushi Bites that I can actually say is good, that I can actually recommend. Most of the time on Sushi Bites, I mean, maybe this is just my bad luck, but most of the games I talk about are average at best. I mean, Dancing Eyes is great. You're stripping these 3D characters. You're having a good time. But it's average at best. Motion gravure. You're watching these Japanese models in limited clothing. It's average at best. Of all the games I've covered on Sushi Bites, I honestly believe still, out of almost 50 episodes of this show, tap my laptop because I consider this point incredibly poignant. Of all the shows, of all the episodes, this game is probably still the best game I have ever fucking webcam unavailable. Let's click that box. Click, there it goes. And here's the text. Fucking webcam not available. This game is still the webcam flies. R.I.P. webcam. This is still the best game that Sushi Bites has ever covered. Download this ROM now!
Yeah, it's worth playing. Even with Cotton, I was sort of, you know, it's worth a look, but Ghost Sweeper Mikami, Jirachi One Nice Body, it goes beyond worth a look. It's worth an entire playthrough. Honest to God, fantastic game. Until next time, if we live that long.
If we live that long. That was such an old catchphrase of mine. It's so depressing. Let's ignore that catchphrase from now on. Till the end of time. Fuck depression!
Welcome to Sushi Bites. Now, when I discovered this game, I was just blown aback. This is Sarugetsu, Saru Daiakusen. The Sarugetsu franchise is known as Ape Escape outside of Japan, but we've only really had the 3 main Ape Escape titles and a couple of the really bad spin-offs like Ape Academy. I don't care what you say, I really don't like Ape Academy. Japan, they've had many more games in this franchise. They absolutely love the Sarugetsu franchise, and I can understand why. It ticks all their boxes. Cute, fun, sometimes challenging, overall excellent and enjoyable. Because it's of the Ape Escape Sarugetsu franchise, it's a very simple game. It's a 3D platformer like the other Ape Escape games, but with a big difference. Instead of capturing monkeys with the monkey net, you are now capturing them with a mind control helmet. But that mind control helmet is actually a sphere that you're rolling around as. The story doesn't really matter.
The future is
though,
now,
because it's an
LDRB.
Ape Escape game.
The future
While
is
there are
now.
cutscenes,
The
they're
future
in
is
Japanese,
bulletproof.
so,
The
you know,
aftermath
I could
is
only
here.
grab the gist
With
of
My
what's going
Chemical
on, and
Romance.
I could for the most part, it's a relatively simple story. While I didn't quite understand the dialogue, there were a couple of the jokes even I got, because they were simple visual gags. So despite the fact the game is entirely in Japanese, it's really easy to understand. You roll around as the orb.
Fuck it, I'm
and
drunk.
you
I'm so
take
sorry,
control
guys.
of your
I
first
failed.
monkey. So the first monkey in the stage. You take control of that monkey. Now you are able to use that monkey's special abilities. And the goal is to go around the level basically taking control of each monkey one by one.
I
to
tried, guys.
not only make
Is
your
that
way through
wine?
the stage,
Is
but
that
also
wine?
to have them all under your control at the end. Once you've got to the end of the
Happy
stage
New
and you have taken control of the
tried.
required number of monkeys,
sorry.
you just slam dunk the helmet into the monkey net at the end of the stage and you're good to go. The game has 15 stages, which is 5 sets of 3, each one separated by a boss. You've also got the final boss, and the final boss you can only fight once you've got all the monkeys. So it follows the traditional Ape Escape formula. What I don't understand is why this particular Ape Escape game didn't get released outside of Japan, yet games like Ape Quest and Ape Academy did. I mean, they are dreadful. I just don't like them.
Ape Academy
What I'm
is
trying to
fucking
say,
dreadful.
without going on too
Oh my
many
god.
tangents, is that Saru
Shut up, me. Can I talk about this for a second? I'm sorry. Ape Academy and Ape Quest are bad games. Now I know this year Stingray Gaming, good guy. He made these tweets that like DKC is a bad game. DKC is so bad. It's hard like Battletoads. And I laughed so much at them because they were so dumb. But then I, in such a hypocritical way, say like, Ape Quest is bad. Ape Academy is bad. I am just as bad as him for saying that. Like, if you look in the illustrated dictionary and you look at the word hypocrite, guess who you see under that word? It's fucking me! I'm right there under the word hypocrite. Welcome back. Kelvin Fried Chicken. Sorry. I've had a fair bit to drink. It's affecting me. I'm sorry. Thank you for your continued interest in Escape Route British. Now, let us return to Sushi Bites, only in Japan. Saru Getchu, Saru Daisakusen, : Sushi Bites. This video is brought to you by Escape Route British and contains only 394 views. Saru Daisakusen is a pseudo sequel to Ape Escape 3, and it's a shame. This game never left Japan. Partner rating F. F for flashing lights. Please be aware, people who suffer from strobe lighting, that this video may contain tomato paste and or flashing lights. You know why? Right, I am so fucking drunk right now, and it's not even midnight. Like, I have to be awake at 8 AM in the morning to look after my brother's bunnies because he's away from home. Like, I have to be awake at 8 AM in the morning. And I'm sorry. Sorry. You know what? Webcam's been unavailable for like 5 minutes. My bad. Let's turn that back. I see why that's off. Because the webcam has fallen off the laptop. That's looking at the keyboard covered in the bits from several. Has anybody new popped into the chat recently? Top 10 unexpected anime deaths. There it goes. I just dropped and or thrown my drink. That's me. I bet you're wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, it all started with a drink of Blossom Hill. And before I realized it, I was drunk. Here's my story. Back in 2017, I was a sales assistant at a discount retailer in a high street. But one day, I decided I was going to express myself with my awesome Baby Metal t-shirt from when I went to see them live. You can go buy... There goes the webcam. You can buy the Blu-ray. Live at the Wembley Arena. I assume it's on Blu-ray? I'm sorry. Has it ended? I'm back. Welcome, Kelvin Fried Chicken. How long have you been back? I'm so sorry. We're gonna... You know what? What episode are we on right now? Sarugetsu Daisakusen. This game was bad. You know what? Sarugetsu Daisakusen was a bad episode. Metal Slug was a bad episode. A Week of Garfield was a bad episode. Time Zone had one good moment. I said, he's pulling a face at me, which is a meme. Rhythm of the Cooking was a fuck it. You know what? Boom. Skia! You don't know. Fire in the booth. Put fire in the booth. Look at your nose. Nose like garden hose.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm sorry. I'm so proud of this episode. I love myself so much. I love myself so much. Breast mute. I love you. Please love me. Subscribe. I'm funny. I'm so drunk. Forgive me. Welcome to 2018.
She fights evil by moonlight and wins love by daylight. And she never runs from a real fight. She is the one named Sailor Moon.
Named Sailor Moon.
She never turns her back on a friend. She is always
there to
defend. She's the one on whom we depend. She is the one named Sailor Moon. Or so the song goes. I don't see much defending going on, but there's certainly a lot of pummeling the shit out of foes.
Pummeling the shit out of
fighting
foes.
evil by moonlight, that's all well and good, but this is daylight, so the song is completely wrong. However, I can confirm that she is indeed the one named Sailor Moon. Or is she? I'm sure you're at least aware of the existence of Sailor Moon. This was a phenomenon back in the 90s, and it still has its fans today. It was a manga written and illustrated by Naoko Takeuchi, serialized in Nakayoshi from
Except
1991 to
Sailor Moon has robbed
1997,
from people
and inspired
several
an
times
animated
series.
called
Robbed,
Pretty Soldier
ruined,
Sailor
ruined,
Moon,
robbed,
produced by
all
Toei
of those
Animation
true.
and
Sailor
originally
Moon is
dubbed
a
and localized
shitbag.
by Deep.
She cannot be trusted with the universe. She is a liar.
These days it's licensed to Viz Media in America. That's the manga publisher Viz, not the UK adult comic Viz.
We'll stop this stream
And a
at
quick
the end of this
Amazon
episode. I'm
search
so
tells me,
fucking fucked.
"Ah,
Welcome
Funko
to
Pops!
2018, guys. I love
Why
you
must they
so
make
much."
these hideous, disgusting figurines for every bastard thing in existence?" I guess I might as well go over the general plot of at least season
Go
1
on.
of
Go
Pretty
on,
Soldier
mate.
Sailor
Go
Moon,
over the general
seeing as
plot.
this game
I know
we'll
it
be
fucking
looking at
means
today
so much to
is
you.
based
The
on its
fucking story of
events.
Sailor Moon.
There's
What's
no
wrong
need
with
to go
you?
over the other
You're
4
almost
seasons or
28
the events of the
years old.
rebooted
Why do
Sailor
you
Moon
fucking
Crystal,
care about
seeing as
Sailor
we're
Moon?
not looking at the other 34 Sailor Moon video games just yet. Yes, there's that many. If you're going to play one of the Sailor Moon games,
why do I
you
care?
absolutely must
Why is it so
play
important
this
to
one.
me? What is this show? I'm upset. Why do I care?
So to give a quick recap,
What is this?
this is Usagi,
What is YouTube?
a young schoolgirl who's not very good at studying. She loves to eat,
What are you
and she
watching
has a
right
crush.
now? You think that's air you're breathing in?
Sounds like my school years.
You know Kung Fu? Show me!
Usagi meets a talking cat named Luna, who teaches Usagi how to transform into the
Why
magical
do I even
alter
care?
ego Sailor Moon.
Where did my glasses
There's
go?
one
Here they are.
caveat. With great power comes great having
With
to
great
locate the
power
Moon
comes
Princess
great
and battling the evil forces of the Dark Kingdom.
Oh god.
Yes, the Dark
Your mum.
Kingdom,
Don't tell
headed
me your
up by the
mum's here.
evil Queen Beryl. These monstrous
Oh God,
Yuma
your mum,
forces
that's fine.
sap
I
energy
saw
from
your mum
humans
this morning.
and force feed it to
Not your
something
mother.
called Queen
Your mum,
Mataria,
the
who is
stringer.
presumed to be their leader,
The
to take on these
person who strings.
otherworldly
And I
butthole
tuned in
invaders
and
with
commented,
relative
but I
ease.
don't think your mum
Usagi
saw
ends
me
up
this
joining
morning.
up with a bunch of
And I
other
was so
girls who
disappointed.
also
Like,
gain
I
the
woke
ability
up
to
and it's like,
transform.
your mum is streaming?
Together,
It's been so
they
long
make up
since I
the
saw your
Sailor
mum as a
Scouts
boss.
and
So I
defeat
commented.
each monster of the week
But I
while
couldn't
learning some sort of
see
valuable
it,
lesson
and
about
I was so
love
upset.
or teamwork or
I'm
something.
so glad your mum isn't here because I'd be so upset. Are you going to help her? No.
Giannis, are you going to help her? No.
You
No.
might say, hey,
you
I've
going
watched
to
loads of
help her?
anime with this
No.
original plot. This blows. And yes, you might have watched shows like
Are you
Pretty
going
Cure,
to help
Glitter
her?
Force, Cardcaptor
No.
Sakura, or Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. All
Oh my
of which
God,
have
that dog
similar
is so
themes and ideas
bad.
to Sailor Moon,
How
which
could they
was
even
by no means
release
the
that
original
dog?
Magical
Why
Girl
is that
manga.
even a thing?
But Sailor
Like,
Moon revitalized the scene
they fucking
and is
get away
responsible
with
for a
that?
lot of the tropes and story elements we see in the genre today. That's enough of a story recap. You know enough now that I feel I can do a review of this game
Wasn't that like
justice.
the same people who did Dragon Ball Z dub? That like called Piccolo like Big Green or something. Oh no! Big Green, help me. It's like, oh, I am Big Green. I'm sorry, guys. I just realized the microphone is still turned on. The microphone is enabled, but the video volume is turned off. So all you have heard for like the past 5 minutes is me laughing and giggling to myself. I would say I'm so sorry, but in truth, however many of you who are sitting watching me live, or you folks who are watching me on VOD, I love you so much. Like, I know I love you is considered like this. Oh, you love him, that's so gay. But the truth is, I respect you lot so much. Like, my life is just this continued day to day sort of this drive to prove myself, like this prove to myself and my family how much I mean to me. But the truth is, like I mean nothing to myself. Like, I aim to mean so much to my friends. Like, today, one of my friends at work, they said to me, you know what? You talk yourself down so much. You're great. You're handsome. You should care about yourself. You should care. And I just stop and I think, how little do I fucking care about myself? Like, I have almost 2,000 subscribers. And I have, like, almost 100 people who care about me. Who care about tuning in for my streams. Who care about loving me. And I care so little about myself. What is that about? I really need to think about it, you know? About 2018. Or what 2018 means to me. You're all here. You're watching my stream. You're listening to me. You care about me as a person. There are, according to YouTube statistics right now, 5 people caring about me. 5 people watching. That's 5 more people than I ever expected. 5. You just simply type 5. I love you, Invader Vac. I love you, Invader Vac. I love every single person here for this stream. And every single person who's going to watch this VOD. They're going to be, I don't know, tidying up their bedroom? Whatever. They'll be chucking their empty noodle pots in a black sack. And they're going to be tidying up the room. They're going to be watching this VOD. And I guess all these people who make it to like 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 subscriptions on YouTube, and they never care. They never fucking care about the regular viewers who watch them, who listen to their content, who watch their fucking content, who care. Just thinking of people off the top of my head. People like fucking Boundary Break, A+ and Star. Fucking anybody who was small and made it big, and then sits there on the Christmas special and pretends to sit there and care about the people who got them there to that position. I love you all so fucking much. You all make me care about living, care about continuing on in a world that's so drastic and drab and dark and meaningless. In a world where we're 10 seconds away from some power-hungry zealot clicking the launch the nuke button to drop a fucking nuke on some major city because they gotta prove how big a penis they have. You people are here watching me. I'm sorry, man. Maybe it's the alcohol. Or maybe it's because nobody's commented in 5 minutes. But I feel like Outside of this, I would have nothing to live for. Thank you so fucking much. I want to make next year so fucking important to you, so valuable, so you can even for a moment realize how much you guys mean to me. Happy 2018, everyone. I love you so much. You have no idea.
This is Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon for the arcades. It's a beat-em-up from 1995 and it's something of a treat, an unbridled joy. Many people will tell you it's overrated. They're wrong. It was developed by Gazelle, a team made up of ex-Toaplan employees after the company went belly up. This company didn't last long either, when Gazelle failed after all of just 2 excellent games. Some employees left to join Cave, a developer I'm very fond of. If you're not familiar with Cave, just look at this. This is a Cave game. Now you know. Glad to see the talent wasn't wasted.
Too right, Keshi. Too right. Let's remember this for all the right reasons. Whenever I so much as step out of line from this, from the creative endeavors, and you guys who mean so much to me, fucking call me out on it. Call me out on it. I realise I muted the microphone. And this whole super meaningful sentence. I was like talking about how I muted the microphone. And this whole meaningful sentence I had spoken had been lost. And then I looked at the computer and the microphone wasn't muted, but the actual microphone. They put a fucking mute switch on it, and it was activated. So I'm gonna say what I said again. Now with a little more solidarity and personal strength and motivation. Let's make 2018 a year to remember. Damn right, Keshi. Let's make it a year to remember. Let's be positive. Let's be creative. Let's focus on our creative endeavors and make our life fucking meaningful. If I ever step outside of my creative endeavors, if I ever so much as show a sign of not giving a shit, you guys, you have every right to pick me up on it. I want 2018 to be the year that I focus on writing my magnum opus. Magnum opus, not Magnus Opium. What? I'm fucking drunk. I'm hungry. I need a shit. I'm angry. Let's make 2018 the year that I focus on my magnum opus. that I focus on my story, that I focus on creating my manga, that I focus on creating my YouTube shows. Let's give a shit what we do in 2018. Let's not just live day to day like we don't care. Alright, take care, boss baby. MLG Shrek, whatever name you go by now. I've only known you for a little amount of time, but you are someone who clearly cares. And I love you for it. Go to that party, have fun, and enjoy yourself. As for me, I'm about to go enjoy myself. I'm about to sit down with my family, with my mum and dad and my gran. And I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to chill out and I'm going to relax. I'm going to eat some nibbles and I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm sorry that I leave this episode halfway played. But I'm gonna spend 2018 caring about. Don't forget to sleep. Once it turns 2018, after midnight, I will sleep. Don't worry about me. I will care. Skipping out on sleep is bad for you. Understood, Tack. I'm gonna take your suggestions and I'm gonna file them into a little envelope and I'm gonna send them to myself, and then I'm gonna open them in the mail and think, who sent me this? And I'm gonna read your messages and I'm gonna care about them. Because I care about you, Tack, so much. You've been here for me practically since I started streaming. And you care about you post in the Discord almost every day. And I read your posts in the meme page and it puts a smile on my face. Even if I don't always add a reaction or comment. I'm like, thank you for making this Discord worthwhile, you know, I'm sorry. Alright guys. I'm drunk. What was meant to be me watching videos and applying director's commentary turned out to be nothing more than me getting drunk and telling you guys how much I fucking love you, which I do. Truth be told, I feel like my life is go to work, come home. Go to work, come home, especially in the last week. It's been go to work, come home, go to work, come home. I get paid money. Money that means nothing to me. Money that I just use to buy video games and waste my time. The people, not fucking avatars on the internet. The people who mean so fucking much to me are you guys. Never, ever forget how much I love you. And never, ever let me forget how much I love you. No matter whether I stay small or in the next year I become 20k, 30k subscribers, fucking Game Hut size channel. Become like fucking John Burton, sitting there stroking my e-penis, talking about how great a developer I was. You know, if I become like him, never, ever, ever let me forget how much I care about you. I gotta go. Fancy transition. Wink. Woo! Goodbye. I gotta go. Before I share a bit too much of what I'm comfortable with. See you all in 2018. Sure. 2.5 hours time. Take care of me. Thank you. Thank you. Keshi. Thank you so much. Skip. Thank you. Foot. Fire in the booth. Fire in the booth. I have so much shit to clean up tomorrow. You think on New Year's Day I'm gonna clean up all this fucking party popper crap that I find at my laptop? You know, in a way, I feel bad, because the only way that I can express how much I feel about everyone is to poison my body with chemicals that lower my defenses enough to tell everyone I love them. Remind me when I'm sober how fucking meaningful, not meaningful, meaningful you guys are to me. Don't let me ever become a power-hungry, collaborating with big YouTubers, no give a shit, no response to comment, fucking shitbag. Never let me become that. Because in 2018, I intend to grow. Not 2,000, not 4,000, but think 8 fucking thousand YouTubers at least. I intend to review video games. I intend to bring back Sushi Bites in full form. I intend to start reviewing fucking movies on DVD. I intend to bring full-scale, 100% give a shit content to my channel. And don't ever let me forget how much this means to me, and how much you, the person who are watching this live or watching this on VOD, how much you mean to me. 2018. Let's make this the year that I grow, that you help me grow, and that I take you all the way with me to the top. Peace out. Man, when I watch back this VOD, sober as fuck, I am gonna cringe so hard, you have no idea.